We're back. Hello there, friends. Sebastian here, and we are back with a brand new video. If you couldn't tell, it's been a little while since we recorded a video. Maybe you've been following the channel so far, and if you have been, thank you so much for tuning in each and every week. But it's been weird because I haven't recorded a video in like 2 months, so it's kind of weird getting back into it. But we are back into it. You saw the title of this video, and we're going to be talking about creativity and just overall how a song can have its own identity. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to be talking about 3 different things. We're just going to be talking about them kind of in no particular order. Number 1, the details are the song. Number 2, all aspects of the song work together to make one vision. And number 3, a creative mix is better than a correct mix. Let's get into that first point. Let's jump into Logic and check it out there. All right, so we're in Logic here, and we're going to start off number 1 with the details of the song are the song. These are the things that stick around in people's brain. These are the things that kind of knock around in there once they finish the song or they heard it once or twice. These are the things that really stay in there. And I'm going to focus on 2, maybe 3 instances in this particular song. I really, really like this song. I recorded it with a friend of mine that got married recently. Congratulations, Maricris, if you're watching this video. But basically, I want to run you through what I did on the guitars on the kind of intro and verse section, and we'll kind of go into perhaps the lead guitar and the vocals, and just keep out for those little details that we're going to be checking out. So let's listen to this. Let's go directly to the verse.
El nuevo sol.
You probably noticed it before I even soloed the guitars. There's 4 guitar tracks going on at the same time. We have our kind of main rhythm tracks up here. These are just doing kind of like the big, kind of like open, distorted chords. These are like kind of the main guitars in this section. However, there are 2 of them over here on the, more in the background that they're also placed to the sides, but you'll notice 2 things. First, they're not hard panned, and that they're not just kind of like maybe doing an octave, although at the end they do a little bit of an octave. So let's take a listen to what these guitars are doing outside of the context of the main guitars. This came about because I think I originally recorded this with the song, and I just really wanted the kind of more driving big chord guitars. So I ended up recording these, I believe, after the fact. Recorded the song quite a bit ago. But, I really, really like this kind of like little plucking thing, and that you can really hear in the background. I found that maybe in the foreground, it was a little bit too much. And there was a moment where kind of the band kind of comes down a bit. I did want to keep a little bit of momentum, but I still wanted to add a little bit of movement around there. And you can get even more creative with this by adding things like, choruses or rotaries and things like that. I didn't do that in this particular one, but we can definitely add it and we can check it out in a second. But let's listen to the song without the main rhythm guitars.
El nuevo sol me da la oportunidad de ser más de lo que.
So you could tell there that, once I took away these 2 little kind of plucking guitars here, the guitars just maybe didn't sit as well. Maybe, the vocal had a little bit too much space to play around in. And while it doesn't necessarily sound bad by any means, or at least I don't consider that to sound bad, that's definitely a valid strategy. Some songs will merit this, some songs won't. But it's those little tiny details, again, that they really make the song and they really make the part and they make your songs more memorable. Take the idea even further. You can add things like chorus, a quick chorus I can throw on here. Sure.
perfecta me hizo Dios.
So that's one way where you could really take, what was ultimately a simple part and just kind of expand it a little bit more. Let's move on to the vocals here. And she is a phenomenal singer. She, like, this basically had almost zero correction to it. Like, she sings just way on key. And I like to stack my vocals quite a bit. In this case, we have the main vocal, we have some doubles, we have the kind of more chorusy, which is what we're going to be focusing in on here. These are more kind of like verses, and then the choruses are also doubled. Plus, we have all the harmonies. We have harmonies, and we have kind of little ad libs, oohs, and ahs. And again, we're talking about how these details can really make the song. So listen in on the chorus when the vocal comes in and just kind of see how the different voices kind of work together to make one single vocal track.
Por tu perdón y tu y yo y mi humilde corazón venimos ante.
Did you catch the little? So that is, I couldn't tell you which one of it is because these have already been bounced. They're panned and everything, but I bounced them out to save on space. So I probably have like a million hidden tracks here. Just like, oh my gosh, 131 tracks. Let's close that up again. But yeah, so basically when vocals are concerned, you can add like those little details of, those little runs here and there where they don't have to be so in your face about it, just enough where like, oh, I really like that. And, if someone's humming along to a song, they can, really enjoy the different vocal harmonies and things like that. I know here on the bridge, there's also a little ad libs section. Let's check that out.
Tu gracia es suficiente en toda situación, en mí reposará tu gloria para siempre.
There is the same thing. Let me turn off that delays. I like a lot of delays in my vocals, as you can tell. It's those details. Like, if this song didn't have those things, it was just a straight up regular harmony, it probably wouldn't be as memorable. So keep that in mind next time you're in the songwriting process. Add those little details because they ultimately are your song. So tip number 2, that first point was more so the bulk of the video, but this next one is very important as well. We want to always be looking at things in context. When you're songwriting, the same thing applies. I have to be thinking about what are all these other instruments doing? And in my case, I write all of these instruments. But if I were collaborating on a session and I was asked to do only 1 or 2 instruments, I need to keep in mind what the rest of the band is doing to really inform, what the song is doing. So let's check out that intro and just kind of take a little bit of that in. So you'll notice in the beginning, since everything is down, we're in an intro section, it starts off with this nice, super warm road sound. I purposefully left the bass out to come after that, in that first chorus, and the drums as well. I originally, I think, had like a shaker, I think, if I remember correctly. Again, this song was written like a year ago. but I had something in percussion. I had bass, and I just started stripping it down and stripping it down. And then ultimately, we just ended up with just the Rhodes in those first couple of bars, and then the one single electric guitar coming in for a couple of bars is there. And then them two, or rather, yeah, then the guitar continues on to the verse very softly. And again, we don't have any bass, we don't have any drums, we don't have any acoustic guitar. It's just the vocals, because essentially what I'm trying to get at here is, you want to be focusing on storytelling and making sure that everything that you're working with has a sense of glue and cohesion about it, right? Same thing after this chorus, we wanted to put in an instrumental. So there's finally my lead guitar can come in. So let's check that out.
Por amor. Perfecta me soy yo.
When it needs to be loud, instruments are all out. The drums are all out. We have a lead guitar that comes in. Basically, keep those things in mind. Don't just, start adding layers and layers and every single instrument playing at the same time, because it's going to bog down your mix. It's going to make it sound, the arrangement of it, it's going to just sound meh. It's just going to be a lot all of the time, and it's just not going to sound very good. It's not going to be very memorable. So keep that in mind. Okay, and number 3 is a creative mix will always be better than a, correct mix. What do I mean by this? This song is maybe not the greatest super example on this, because everything is pretty normal. I think the area in this production that had the most creativity was definitely the vocals, and it was more on the arrangement side. The actual mixing side of it, or production side of it, at least I don't feel has anything too radically different, with the exception of the things like, the very long tails of the reverb, because I really wanted those to almost put a pad under her singing. So, and that sounds like this.
Por amor.
See, those things. So someone might listen to that and, say like, oh my God, that's too many reverb tails. It has the ability to be a little bit too much. Let's say with the keys in that beginning section, there's the keys there. Let's add like some sort of fade here, or some sort of filter effect. I'm literally improvising this on the fly. So, you know what? Let's just leave that. Excuse you. Thank you. That is a way that you can get something, different going on in that beginning section. I wouldn't necessarily do that on this particular mix. My point stands that you can do those things if you want to. Like I mentioned, a little bit of a weaker point, but I wanted to include it in this video because it's relevant to the topic, is just be as creative as you can and as you want, even if it technically is not super correct in the mix. All right, and there you have it. Those are 3 little things that I like to keep in mind when I am being hired to make an arrangement like the one that you are hearing. Like I mentioned, that particular song, I wrote all of the instruments, the keys, the guitars, the bass, drums, everything. If you want to hire me for that, link is down below, definitely. But also, those are things that I am keeping in mind, whether I'm doing, just a session guitar and I'm just being asked for that, or bass, or even just mixing. I'm trying to always keep this a creative endeavor and not so much an endeavor where it's kind of turning knobs because that's what a book says or what have you. So if you like this video, be sure to like and follow and comment and tell me how horrible I am at what I'm doing down there below. And you and I, we're gonna start a flame war. And we didn't start the fire, but it all. See you next time.